Home and away spoilers: Marley in trouble as Dingo calls in a favour. Next week on Home and Away in the UK, Dingo calls in a favour from Marley as he comes under investigation, but will they both end up arrested? Following a major breakthrough last week, Cash finally manages to track down concrete evidence that links Mangrove River's notorious Riverboy gang to the death of his predecessor Franklin McGrath. Since being posted to the town's rundown cop shop, Cash and his colleague Constable Joanna Devlin have been investigating McGrath's death. His body had been found dumped in a local dam after he opted to carry out round-the-clock surveillance on the River Boys, so it was clear the gang were to blame. Joe warned Cash that he should tread lightly, with the River Boys pretty much running the town, but it had already become personal for Cash when he realized the gang's leader was none other than Rory Templeton, the new boyfriend of his sister Felicity. Rory was as shocked as Cash was when he realized who his latest police adversary was, but hoped he could somehow use the relationship with Flick to his advantage. After Cash carried out some surveillance of his own at the Riverboy hangout, he handed Joe a list of number plates and asked her to run them through the system. Whilst CCTV near to the dam didn't bring up any hits, Joe took the initiative of asking for footage from one of the National Park's wildlife cameras, which revealed that Dingo's car had been in the vicinity. Next week, as Cash and Joe scrutinize the footage, Cash utilizes that magical enhance button that only exists on screen in many a procedural police drama. The image reveals a blood and sand tattoo on the driver's arm, and with Joe realizing that they have the matching tattoo on Dingo's arm on file from his last arrest, they are able to bring him in for questioning. Or at least they would if they could find him. Having heard that the police are looking for him, and that they've already impounded his car, Dingo heads to Summer Bay where he finds Rory and Salt. Although Dingo assures Rory that he cleaned the car, he's still spooked, and wonders whether Flick knows anything about Cash's plan of action. Rory suggests to Flick that they head back to her place, knowing Cash will be there, and he's soon sounding out the copper about his day. Cash is giving nothing away though, other than the fact that getting Dingo's car was a highlight. The next day Rory and Dingo decide the only way is to tackle things head-on, as they head to the police station so Dingo can be interrogated. Although he initially denies being the driver, pointing out that several of the boys have the same tattoo, he eventually admits that he was simply fishing in the area and can't remember who was sitting in the car with him. With nothing further to go on at that moment in time, Cash lets Dingo go. Rory assures him that they're safe given that there's nothing to connect him to McGrath. Until Dingo then reveals that he may have kept some souvenirs. Rory can't believe that Dingo's been such a drongo, and orders him to get rid of them. In his wisdom, Dingo decides to call on Marley, figuring that he still owes them more favors. He hands him the padlocked bag, and orders him to keep it safe. Although Marley considers talking to Cash, he bottles out and eventually confides in Tane, showing him the bag. Tane thinks they should open it so they know exactly what they're dealing with, though Marley points out that the Dingo would know if they broke the lock. Tane tries utilizing his lock-picking skills, but he's still unable to open it. Marley decides he should just try and find a way to dispose of it instead. Later in the week, Cash and Joe are finally granted a warrant to search the Riverboy hangout on account of the mounting evidence against Dingo, with Rose and other officers drafted in from Yabby Creek to assist. Realizing how things could go down, Cash tasks Eden with keeping Flick busy for the day, and well away from Mangrove River. No easy feat when Flick knows that Rory has the afternoon free. Meanwhile, having overheard Cash talking about Dingo, Marley decides to break open the lock on the bag. Inspecting the contents and getting his fingerprints all over them, Marley finds Franklin McGrath's wallet and ID card, as well as a bloodied crowbar wrapped in a towel. When Marley confronts Rory, telling him about the bag and how he will have no part in it, Rory storms back to the hangout and punches Dingo in the face for being so stupid. He'd told him to get rid of the bag, not to give it to some random. Dingo promises to sort it, but it may already be too late. At the police station, Cash learns that forensics have found traces of McGrath's blood in Dingo's car. They've got him. As the police prepare to raid the hangout, Marley just happens to pick that moment to return to bag to Dingo, not willing to wait around any longer. He throws the bag containing the vital evidence at Dingo just as the cops arrive. Is Dingo done for, and will Marley find himself in trouble too?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của Home and Away Spoiler Today. Xin chào.